It has to stop. And also to the UN Rapporteur on torture, it's about time that you started answering the questions that this campaign demands of the United Nations and its human rights rapporteurs on what's going on in the Republic of India. And I wish the family all of the success for today. I thank you for coming. Valcha, thank you for coming to London, and let's keep the campaign going. Write to your members of Parliament, keep at it, email them, phone them, and guess what? Go to their surgeries. That's if they have them. I certainly do. Keep campaigning, keep your heads held high, and if first they don't succeed, try again. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. We've got Dan from Reprieve next, so a few words from Dan. Thank you.
It's so good to see so many people out here today standing up and speaking out for Jagtar. I think everybody here today has a few questions for the British government. Yes. My first question is, why has it taken 5 years to see action and we're still waiting? We're talking about a British blogger who 5 years ago was abducted off the street by plainclothes police, who faced days of brutal torture and was forced to confess under torture to trumped up political charges. Now the British government takes a strong, categorical, principled opposition to torture and the death penalty. Well, why haven't they taken the action that's necessary in these most egregious of circumstances when a young British blogger has faced these abuses? And another question is, why has it taken 5 foreign secretaries for us to see this kind of action? Now the Foreign Office just across the road, they've said publicly that when a British citizen is arbitrarily detained, that they'll seek that citizen's release. Earlier this year, the main authority globally on arbitrary detention, a panel of UN experts, said very clearly, publicly, Jagtar is arbitrarily detained, and they called for Jagtar to be immediately released. So he undisputably fits that category which sees the British government seek release. Why haven't they done it? We've got a new Foreign Secretary across the road, and I hope he can hear us, and I hope he can hear all of you today, because we want to see him be the one that brings Jagtar home. Yes. Another question is, why are they stonewalling us? Why is the British government stonewalling us about its actions in Jagtar's case? So in August of this year, it was revealed that the British intelligence agencies, MI5 and MI6, may have shared information with the Indian authorities prior to Jagtar's release. And there are reports from India that suggest that UK sources put Jagtar under the scanner, in the words of those sources. So why hasn't the British government answered questions about what role it played? In light of this information, the UK really needs to take responsibility in Jagtar's case, because regardless of the UK's role, he is an arbitrarily detained British national, and it's time to bring him home. And so my final question today is, what will it take for Rishi Sunak across the road to bring Jagtar home? 5 years is too long, 5 foreign secretaries is too many, enough is enough. We've heard demands for Jagtar's release from the United Nations, from the Scottish Government, from more than 100 parliamentarians, from Her Majesty's opposition, and scores of human rights experts. So in the face of all that, the silence from Downing Street is deafening. So today I think we need to say to Rishi Sunak, it's time to bring Jagtar home. We need to free Jaggy now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan, from Reprieve. Now we've got Leanne from Redress. Just going to say a few words to them.
I'd like to thank Gurpreet and Jagtar's family for inviting Redress to speak today. I commend you for your 5-year-long fight to free Jagtar. It is an unimaginable nightmare to have your loved one detained without due process, tortured, and with no end in sight for his release. Jagtar has detailed horrific acts of torture and ill treatment that he has experienced at the hands of the Indian authorities. And through these methods, they have extracted from on him false confessions, the only evidence that they can claim against him. The widespread use of torture by police in India has been documented by the United Nations, NGOs, and India's own Law Commission. And now there is evidence that the UK government may have colluded in this by giving the Indian government a tip-off, which led to his detention. In the 5 years that Jagtar has been detained, he has not been properly tried for the allegations against him, and he has not been presented with any evidence that would secure a conviction. A confession that is forced through torture cannot be used to convict him. The United Nations has said that his detention is unlawful under international law, and that it was based on discriminatory grounds due to his religion and his status as a human rights defender. And they said that he must be released immediately. The Indian government must comply with the UN's ruling and release Jagtar immediately, and investigate his torture and hold those responsible to account. The charges against him must be dropped due to insufficient evidence, or he must at least proceed promptly to a fair trial. And the UK government must be holding the Indian government to account for its violations of Jagtar's human rights and demanding his immediate release. We also ask the UK government to answer the allegations as to its involvement in Jagtar's detention and subsequent torture. These flagrant abuses of Jagtar's rights must not be allowed to continue.
Thank you, Leanne. We really appreciate your addresses. We have a speaker from Sikh Human Rights, Manav Singh, who come forward and say a few words.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪ ਭਾਈਆਂ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੰਥ ਪੂਰਾ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਏ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਵਾਰੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਬੁਲੰਦ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਇਹੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਟਜੀ ਆ ਸਿਆਸੀ ਨੀਤੀ ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੂਝਵਾਨ ਅਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਜਥੇਬੰਦੀਆਂ ਪਹੁੰਚੀਆਂ ਲਾਸਟ ਦੀ ਇਹ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਆ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਦਾ ਕੋਲ। ਸੋ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਹ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਸਰਾ ਰੱਖੀਏ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਚੌਕੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਜਾਪ ਸਰਨ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ। ਸੇਵਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਹਮਾਰੇ ਪਾਰੀਆ ਹੈ, ਚੁਣ ਚੁਣ ਸਦਰ ਹਮਾਰੇ ਮਾਰੀਆ ਹੈ। ਆਪ ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਘੱਟੋ ਘੱਟ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਗੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਚੌਕੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰੋ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਵੀ ਆ। ਅਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਦੂਸਰੀ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਇਹ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹੀਏ ਅਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ। ਸੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਨਗਰ ਨਿਵਾਸੀ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਸ਼ਹਿਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਆ UK ਤੋਂ। ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਕਾਂ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੱਸੀਏ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹੀਏ ਕਿ ਭਾਈ ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਸਟੇਜਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਜੱਗੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ UK ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਧੱਕਾ, ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਐਕਟੀਵਿਸਟ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ। So we've just listened to the speakers earlier who confirmed the suspicion, many years long suspicion that the UK police and intelligence services were involved in passing over information from Jaggi to this case. So we already know that Sikh activists have been targeted up and down the country. So many ਇਹ ਬੇਨਤੀਆਂ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਪੰਥ ਹਸਤੀਆਂ ਆ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਵਰਗੀਆਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਗੋਲੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਚਲਾਈਆਂ ਆ, ਧੋਖਾ ਅਤੇ ਟੈਂਕ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ। ਪਰ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਆਜ਼ਾਦ ਸੋਚ ਨੂੰ ਕਦੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੰਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ। ਇੱਥੇ ਦੋ ਫੋਟੋਆਂ ਜੱਗੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਲੱਗੀਆਂ ਆ, ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਦਸਤਾਰ ਸਜਾਈ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ, ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਦੀ। ਇਹ ਸੋਚ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਆ, ਆਓ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਵਾਲੇ ਬਣੀਏ, ਆਪਣਾ ਪੰਥ ਫਰਜ਼ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਛਾਣੀਏ ਅਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਪੰਥ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੇਰੀਏ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੰਥ ਦੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼, ਜੱਗੀ ਦੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਬੰਦੀ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਿਹਾਈ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਅਤੇ ਬੰਦੀ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਦਾ ਰਿਹਾਈ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਫੁੱਟਬਾਲ ਮੈਚ ਨਾ ਬਣਾਈਏ ਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਮਿਲਣਾ ਨਾ ਭਾਈ। ਜਿਹੜੀ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਅੱਜ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਜੋ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਜ਼ਰਬੰਦ ਆ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਜ਼ਿਲ੍ਹਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਿਹਾੜ ਜੇਲ੍ਹ ਨਾਭਾ ਜੇਲ੍ਹ ਆਦਿ ਸੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਹੀ ਸੰਘਰਸ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਲੈਣੀ ਆ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਜਥੇਬੰਦੀ ਨੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਹਾਈਜੈਕ ਕਰਕੇ ਵੋਟਾਂ ਲੈਣੀਆਂ ਆ ਆਓ ਆਪਾਂ ਸੱਚਮੁੱਚ ਜੋ ਪੰਥ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰੀਏ ਜੀ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਬੇਨਤੀਆਂ ਆ ਸਿੱਖ ਹਿਊਮਨ ਰਾਈਟਸ ਜਥੇਬੰਦੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਦੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ as always we're standing with Jaggi Gopi and his family for anything he needs wherever he's here. So on behalf of Sikh Human Rights and Gurdwara Guru Nanak Prakash Commentary, we're always here to support you, the Panth, and any Panth college. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So for the next few moments, while we wait for some of the other speakers, we've got, if there is anyone from the senior Jathebandiya who wants to speak, get here, put your names down. So there's a list of speakers. But while we're here, let's let the UK government know we're here and support Jaggi. So while I shout, everyone repeat after me. Free, free! Free, free!
Jaggi now!
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 Free, free! 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 Bole Sonehal! Ek tek! Ek tek! Panth की राज करेगा, राज करेगा। बोले सोनेहाल। So if there is any speakers who would like to speak, we've got our brother from the Tamil community who's going to come and say a few words in support of Jagtar Singh Johal.
Thank you, everyone. Honestly, it's so great to see so many people out here in support for the release of Jaggi. Us as members of the Tamil community, we understand what it's like to have your country taken away from you and to face genocide at the hands of an oppressor. So with that, you have my support, 100%. On top of that, I kind of wanted to tell you guys a story. So it's a story that happened in the 80s with the Tamils. So you may or may not be aware, we had a long, bloody liberation war, and prior to the beginning of that, we had a few militants who were also political prisoners, and there were these two that I'm going to talk about now. Two militants from the 70s and 80s who were arrested in 1981 and sentenced to death. So when they were sentenced, the judge said, you know, you're going to go on death row essentially. And I just wanted to share this message that he said when he went down. So when he was arrested in court, he said it in Tamil, but I'm going to translate it in English for you. He said, before my death sentence is carried out, please remove my eyes and transplant them to a Tamil without eyesight. I will not be able to see a free Tamil ulam, but at least let my eyes see it. Now the reason I share this with you is because I don't want that to happen to Jaggi. I don't want Jaggi to be there to a situation where he has to make such a statement. Because we've got a chance now to be able to get him set free. Do you know what happened to Kuttimani, the guy who said this? In Black July 1983, which was at the time the biggest anti-Tamil pogrom. He and 39 other political prisoners were killed in the prisons. The prison guards gave keys to other Sinhala prisoners to kill the Tamil political prisoners. Do you know how he died? Because he made that speech saying that he wanted his eyes to see Tamil ulam. They used iron bars and gouged his eyes out and then cut off his tongue so he was never be able to speak again. He died on the spot. So I want to share this with you guys because I don't want stuff like this to happen anymore. I don't want no political prisoners to ever have to endure such things. And Jaggi, someone who documents genocide is not a criminal. Documenting your genocide is never a crime and it never should be punished. People who should be punished, the Indian government, the British government, people who colluded. I heard someone say earlier that the British government allegedly colluded. No, it's not allegedly. It's true. It happened. When you have credible evidence, there's no need to use words like allegedly. This stuff happened, and I want everyone to know that. I want the whole world to know that. And you will have the support of Ulam Tamils in making sure that that is recognized. Tamilan Tagam, Tamilan Tagam. Thank you guys.
Thank you to our brothers from the Tamil community, always supporting us and always there. If anyone wants to speak, please come forward and put your name down. We're going to have a speaker from Jagtar Singh Johal's family now who wants to say a few words.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਭਾਣੇ ਸਰਬੱਤ ਦਾ ਭਲਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਗੁਰਪੁਰਬ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਕਿ ਸਵਾ ਲੱਖ ਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਦਾ ਨਾ ਸੰਗਤ ਬੰਦਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਕਾਰਜ ਰਾਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਭਾਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਹਨਾ ਕਿ ਸੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਪਾਠ ਕਰੋ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਵਾ ਲੱਖ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਪਾਠ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਆ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਹੱਲ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਹੋਊਗਾ
I'm from GBY TV.
NYTV?
GBY TV. GBY TV. I'm from GBY TV. I'm a press. I just want to have one or two things.
Oh, okay. What country do you guys cover?
I cover UK. I cover. I'm here with the TVs here.
Oh, okay. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Nigeria.
Nigeria.
But
Okay.
I have my cousin in India. I heard about this thing, so I wanted to cover it.
Okay, no
So
problem.
there's something I've heard you saying about the UK government that they're supposed to be the one in charge of fixing the. There was something about talking about.
Yes,
I need you to repeat it again. If the UK government, why do you think the UK government?
Oh no, there's credible evidence that the intelligence services in the UK, MI5 and MI6, have been colluding with the Indian government. So that's one of the reasons how Jaggi was released. Jaggi was sentenced because they released information about Jaggi to the Indian government. That's how what led to his arrest. So there's credible evidence to
Okay,
state
now
that.
that Rashid is the Prime Minister of the country, and what do you think that, because I heard people talking about Rashid because I know he came from India, and what do you think he can do to this, to get
Honestly
Jaggi
speaking, I think he would do a lot less than previous prime ministers because as someone of Indian heritage, he's less likely to go against the Indian government. So I don't think Rishi Sunak will actually be any much helpful. It'd be great if he could prove us wrong and do some good, it would be great. But honestly speaking, because of his Indian heritage, I highly doubt he's going to go against that state. And considering his family, his wife and his wife's father, they're billionaires in India. So I highly doubt that he is going to go against that.
So what would be the solution for Jaggi to be free? who do you think that will be able to get Jaggi free? Because people are
Honestly, it has to come from the goodness of people's hearts to see reason. When people could see that when Russia was invading Ukraine, everybody came for that. Everyone came in support for this. Why can you not come in support for this? Someone who has been illegally in detention on under bogus charges, tortured and everything. Yeah, that's not what we want to see. If you believe in human rights, then he should be released, and that's what it is.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you,
very
Baba.
much.
Thank
Your name is
Tamil, not Sri Lanka.
yeah, I'm Jimmy White.
Nice to meet you. Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you.
Thank you
Nice
very
to-
much.
no
Thank you very
problem.
much. Thank you.
So-called evidence. Sometimes in different countries, in this country as well as India, there have been cases of similar injustice based upon torture and ill-treatment, based upon state oppression, based upon the politics of the day, which we have thought could never be overcome, and they have been. But they have been only because groups and societies and peoples have come together and campaigned, so that the law, instead of being used as an impressive weapon, has been used to fight back and defeat the oppressor. So it is our duty to support the family of Mr. Johal. We were horrified as lawyers when we came to know something of his case. And we have a duty and a responsibility to lend our weight to freeing him. And here it is, at Downing Street, and a new Prime Minister who has the ear of the Indian government, and therefore the ball is in his court.
Thank you, Thank you, Darren. I really appreciate Gareth was made some big court cases in the country. She's done some massive representation, and everyone obviously knows she represented the West Midlands Three last year, who all got freed last year outside Westminster Court, which was very important, and the whole Sangha come together then, and it's great to see her still supporting Jaggi, even though Jaggi's in another country, she's still coming in, showing her support, showing her love. It means a lot to us. We've got a speaker from one of the universities while I wait for some of the other Jatibandiyah to come here and have a speak. So Bashun Singh from UCL will be saying a few words.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. It's amazing to see so many people today out in support of Jaggi and demanding his release. It's been 5 years since the Indian government abducted Jaggi, tortured him and have kept him in prison. 5 years too long. For me, Jaggi epitomises a Khalsa's character. Jaggi has shown immense bravery and fearlessness by highlighting the injustices that our country suffers from. But the question arises, why does someone need to show bravery when talking about human rights and justice? Because the Indian state has made it so. The Indian state has made us fearful of raising our voices. But a Sikh is never scared. A Sikh stands against injustice in any form it takes. And it's wonderful to see so many people challenging this injustice to our brother Jaggi. And there's a reason why we are protesting outside Downing Street today. Because this government, this country is responsible for colluding with India, and is responsible and is involved in Jaggi's abduction and subsequent torture. We urge this Conservative government to show compassion for our brother and to put the human rights of his citizens before trade deals. Just imagine if it was your brother, your mother, your father who was wrongfully abducted, tortured and imprisoned for over 5 years. But we don't even need to imagine, because Jaggi is our brother, and we are showing today that enough is enough. On behalf of university students, we demand the release and the return of our brother Jaggi so he can be reunited with his family. Enough is enough. Free Jaggi now! Free Jaggi now! Free Jaggi now! Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
It's really good to see young students, Sikh activists here in support. We always support in other movements. It's good to get behind ours as well. Very, very important.
This one should come.
Can I? This is a kind of this thing that is going on with Joggi, and you can see at my back there's a riot that the President Joggi, the man that has been he has been in the prison. He was imprisoned by the Indian government and for a long time, and because of that, the Indian and the came out that they should free Jaggi from the prison and do the right thing, and they are there making sure that the UK government, Rashid, should come into it and they should get the Jaggi free. So I am covering this and I want you to watch it live. And you can see at my back there's a soup, and I believe that the UK government are going to hear this and get Joggi the president free from this thing. So where you are, you just see, get Joggi free, and that is what they are saying. Thank you very much. As we continue watching this live, please subscribe, comment, like this video, and share this video. These people are at our back and they are doing a lot of riot, making sure that Jaggi is free, and I know that Jaggi, that the UK government are going to see to it.
That's the worst thing about it, like,
Just remember why we're here. This campaign, the Free Jaggi Now campaign, has had countless attempts to be disrupted by the Indian and UK government, and even the Sikhs that are working for the police, for these services, for these authorities, attempting to disrupt the campaign, and yet we're still here as a campaign. International protest, 11, and there's a 12th one called in Punjab on the 7th of November. So this is fantastic to see global protests for Jaggi in one day. So thank you to the Sangata who've come from far and wide. We've had people come from Wolverhampton, Scotland, Leicester, Willenhall, Derby, Watford, Southampton, across the UK, Coventry, everywhere. So it's really good to see the Sangata from the UK all uniting to support Jaggi. I'm going to pass it on to the next speaker, Kulwant Singh.
ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਦੇ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਸ਼ਹਿਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਅੱਜ ਵੀਰ ਜਗਤਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੱਗੀ ਜੌਲ ਦੇ ਹੱਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੰਡਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਮੂਹ ਪੰਥਕ ਦਰਦੀ ਵੀਰੋ, ਆਓ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਬਖਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਈ ਫਤਿਹ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨ ਕਰੋ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਵੀਰ ਜਗਤਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੱਗੀ ਜੌਲ ਪਿਛਲੇ 5